Peterson to kind of get him out there to do a little bit more rookie hype machine?
You know what? I was a little disappointed with Josh's efforts today. I think just going to the YMCA and not really getting involved, I think we need a little bit more energy with that. I thought the first 2 days of the rookie hype were okay. Trey was a little indecisive, a little off on his timing. But Banks did okay with the snappy fingers dance. He showed he still has a little giddy up in him from his Notre Dame college party days, so he's doing okay. But
Your evaluation feels a little biased, Mike.
no, at least Banks was on time. He was on time. He was in the crowd or close by. I guess the rules have been a little different. But he was there. He was in the front. Everybody saw him. Peterson didn't even get a chance to get everybody up and dance with the YMCA with him either. So we'll have to reevaluate, get him back in. We got a lot of open practices this year, and we'll make sure the rookies that have not done well get another chance.
Interesting analysis. You haven't broke down the film yet, but you're able to see that.
Oh, we actually do break down the film. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have it. We have our video guys film it. We go. We haven't brought it up in a team meeting yet, but we did the O-line meeting. We watched the film. We get him a grade, whether or not he passed or not, and if he has to do it again, for sure. Banks did. Yep. But it's not the tight ends and the quarterbacks aren't in my room, so I'll leave it up to the vets in those rooms. Kyle did in the team meeting. Yeah, so I remember I was actually the founding member of the rookie hype machine because Mike Person decided it would be a good idea for open practices, and then Staley obviously egged that one on, and so I actually had to do it like 3 or 4 times that year. So got a lot of experience with it. I'm the go-to guy, go-to clips on the team of the teach tape. So I'm proud of that.
Mike, let's get right to it.
Okay.
We've messed around enough. What is your weight?
I'm sitting between 315 and 320 right now. Yeah. Fluctuates on the day, but it's obviously training camp, so it'll go up and down depending on how hard the practice is or how hot it is outside. But, yeah, I'm sitting comfortably between 315 and 320.
Yeah, I forget the numbers from last year, and we know about all the discussion last year, but is that a big difference, or is it differently proportioned?
It's about I want to say like 25 pounds heavier than last year. COVID was tough on me. It was tough on the resources. It was tough on getting into gyms. It was tough on making sure that stays up. And I thought I was feeling really good. I felt really healthy at the weight I was at. I was moving a lot faster for our run game and had a great year with that. But obviously some things happened where I was guarding too much of a bull rush. And even if I wasn't getting bulled, I was stopping my feet too much in preparation for the bull. And it's just something that's given me a little bit more mental confidence. It's something that I worked hard with Dustin Perry and our strength staff and all that. And definitely feeling good. My body definitely feels it after the first week. It's been good. I feel comfortable. But definitely have to get my feet underneath me a little bit and get used to it. But I think I've done a good job for the first week.
Do you feel the benefit, the difference in pass protection?
Well, not to the full extent yet. We don't have pads on, so I haven't felt a true, head-on bull rush yet. But I anticipate it helping a great deal. I hope, obviously I'm not a guy that stays naturally big, and I have to work pretty hard to keep that stuff on. I'm a tall guy, so it's a matter on top of the body weight. It's more technique than anything, and it always will be. That extra body weight just gives you an extra chance to recover on that stuff.
Like 25 pounds.
Yeah.
Like how the heck did you do that?
Well, I have a really great relationship with Dustin Perry. He and I are super, super close. I'm one of the few guys that lives here full time in the Bay, and so I'm with him every day from the time we break in January to the time we come together in April. And Jordan Mazer, our dietitian, and I came up with a great plan. I eat a lot. I drink a lot of those shakes and all that, and do what I can to keep my weight up and feel good, and obviously, come up with a plan to work out probably 6 days a week from January to April, and then when you start playing football, you got to find your spots here and there. But no, it was a great off season. I worked really hard at it. Dedicated a lot of stuff to it. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the way that we worked as with my staff, and I'm ready to get the ball rolling.
How many meals a day? What are you eating?
So, I don't have a set number. I just make sure the timing of it. If I don't let myself go more than 2 hours or 3 hours on without eating, without making sure I have something to go down. And not as conscious of eating the healthiest of healthy foods to make sure I have a little bit of that weight on me. And so I'm a guy, like I said, I'm a guy that can go the other way pretty fast. You know, one day I hope to look like Joe Staley in retirement, but those days are hopefully a long way away, and I'm going to have to keep this weight up as long as I can.
Will it really be a case where you'll begin a practice at 320 and then you'll weigh yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm somewhere between 10 and 15 pounds of practice probably. Just water weight, and I sweat like crazy. So that's just really just water weight, and that comes back fast. You just got to keep pounding the Gatorade and water and all that. So, but yeah, it comes back real fast. And normally you come into a training camp and you probably lose about 5, and then settle in when the real season starts, when you're not going 40 to 50 snaps an individual, and then another 40 and 50 on top and team.
Obviously, the pads aren't on yet, but mobility-wise, that's obviously been one of your big strengths. Do you feel that that's been kept intact?
Yeah, I made sure that it was made clear by my coaching staff that no matter what we do in the off season and how much weight I put on, it will not happen if I lose what I'm really good at. So I feel very confident in my game right now. I'm very excited to get it going, excited to put the pads on next week to test it out and play some real football. And obviously we got some of the best D linemen to do it against. So the more that we get reps at it, the more confident I'll become. But I'm in a really good spot right now.
What's been your early impression of Samson Satele?
Well, I'm very familiar with Samson. I've played him, I think it was 6 times over the last 3 years. And he's a player that he plays so hard. He's a relentless player, always has been, and he's been the same since he's gotten here. He just constantly works. He plays. He's fast. He's strong. Sets the edge well in our scheme. And obviously, I think he has a perfect coach in Chris Kasurik to help him continue to grow his game. The way that he's been able to have success in this camp has been impressive, and he's going to be a big part of what we do moving forward. And obviously, when we can continue to get even more of our dogs back on the edges, it's just going to be a lot of fun to, watch other people go deal with that and not me anymore.
How stoked are you to, face Bosa again?
Getting our warm-ups in until he's ready to go, So that's what Dustin Perry and I were actually joking this morning. I think the offensive tackles right now are on the maintenance program until he gets back. So everybody's talking about Nick's maintenance, but we're just getting our warm-up in until he gets back, because 97 can bring it. He's the best, arguably one of the best in the league to do it, and very excited to get him back, and very excited to get some work against him, because that we've been saying it for years around here, but iron sharpens iron. So can't wait to get Nick back and get him on the field and playing football.
How does Alex Mack fit in the offensive line room? Is he a leader already? Is he the new guy? What's he like?
Alex has been great. Yeah, I mean, he's a leader. He's a guy that's been around for 13 or 14 years, and arguably the best center of our generation. And he's played in this offense for a long time. He played with Kyle in Cleveland, played with him in Atlanta, had unbelievable success there, and is a guy that can really, really do a lot of things for us and connect us all on the same page, talk through details in a meeting room, anything that, he sees out there, he's willing to vocalize and help out with anything. And I think the coolest part about what Alex has done is, you get a lot of old guys that don't necessarily take the time to help out everything else that's going on. But Alex takes a lot of pride in being a leader of our O-line and being a leader of our football team. Takes young guys, no matter who you are, what your roster spot is, how old you are. He takes you under his wing. He never hesitates to give you a coaching point, and is unbelievably smart as he is gifted as a football player. And I think Alex is going to be a huge addition for us, for sure.
You were able to kind of let your back go to hell. What is the one food that you're like, oh gosh, this is awesome?
There's a lot of them. I definitely don't think that I have one specific meal that I'm just always gung-ho about. But I always, when I go home, my dad always, there's pork roll. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it from the Jersey Shore. My dad, every morning when we wake up on the weekends, when I go back home to the Jersey Shore, I always have a couple pork roll, egg, and cheeses waiting for me from either nursing a hangover from the night before, or just waking up before we go to church. So those are my favorites, and not having to worry about just eating one of them is definitely a good thing. Yeah. So it's like it goes back and forth between being called pork roll and Taylor ham. It's like a tri-state area of New York, Pennsylvania, and Jersey. And so I'm from Philadelphia. It's a huge thing there, but my family goes down to the Jersey Shore every summer, and it's even bigger down there. So no, it's more of like I want to say like a tangy ham, but it's hard to describe. It's just a big process. It's like a 6-pound different type of flavored hot dog is really all it is. Yeah. Yeah, any kind of bagel's good with me, man. Yeah, normally we just go with plain because we got a lot of picky eaters in my family house.
But you do seem lighter in terms of sense of humor and having fun. Is that something you're feeling so far in training camp? Is it something you're feeling in the locker room?
You know, it's something that I've worked on. I think the most frustrating part of my season last year was the way that I handled it mentally. I don't think I did my job in that regard. I didn't let myself, overcome mistakes. I didn't let myself overcome the trials and tribulations of what we were going through as a team. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, and it got in the way of me being able to do my job at a high level. And it just kind of kept weighing on me as the season went on. And obviously, when you're in solitary confinement for 8 weeks down in Arizona, it doesn't help either. But that was a big focal point this offseason. I had to get my head right, and I feel as though that I did that, and I'm excited to be able to do that and continue to grow in that regard and challenge myself every day to get better and not let myself slip back into old habits. And it's definitely something that I've worked on. But it's easy. I mean, it's easy to do that here. We have a great team, a great staff. It's a fun place to come to work, and I lost sight of that, and I never will again. And that's what's cool about it.
One or anything that helped you go through that process?
Yeah, actually, I worked closely with a man named Darren McManus this offseason, who has been a huge part of my process. He and I have grown very, very tight. We meet, whenever we can now that the season started, but we met once a week in the off season, and he's done an unbelievable job of helping me find perspective, find focus, find where things go. And everybody always tells you, the thing that separates you is your mind when you get to this level, but you don't believe them until things get hard. And then I looked in the mirror and you evaluate that, and you look at this yourself and you say, you know what? The only thing that I'm letting myself not be successful because of, or the thing that's holding me back, is because I'm not okay with my process, with the way that I'm focusing on my job, with all of that. And so Darren's done a great job with me and helped me in a big way, and I'm very thankful for that friendship that we have, and it's been really cool.
Thinking back to March when, there were rumors in February about the team looking at other quarterbacks aside from Jimmy. I know you've been one of Jimmy's staunchest supporters, but in a situation like that, do you reach out to Jimmy? Do you talk to him? And what's the balance of being a teammate and being loyal to a guy you care about, but also understanding the business of what the NFL is?
Yeah, I don't think I really needed too much. Jimmy's handled this whole thing with grace, with unbelievable humility, and as a leader should. He's just come in and worked harder. He's come in and played better. He's come in and led our team even more. No matter what happens, it is, like you said, it is a business. The 49ers have to do what they think is best for the 49ers now and in the future. And Jimmy has proven time and time again that when he is on the field, he's our guy, and he's the guy that will continue to lead us to win football games. And there's nobody in this building that doesn't believe that. But you've seen what has happened to our football team in the years past, in these last 3 years, and injuries come up, and they happen. And you have to have, contingency plans to help out, and so the season doesn't get derailed. And I think that, the depth that we have at that position now is a confidence builder for not only us, but for Kyle and John and the rest of this football team. But Jimmy has handled this whole thing unbelievably well. You don't really even need to check in on him because he just continues to do it and do it well and do it with grace. And obviously you do because he's a friend, and you talk to him throughout the offseason, check in and see how everything's going. But the more I did, the more I realized that it was, there was no need. He just has continued to kill it, and that's been the most impressive thing, and something that anybody in this whole sport can learn from is how to do things the right way.
It seemed like last year was the toughest year in your life in a lot of ways. Do you feel like you're better for it?
Yeah, I would say so. I think anything that makes you, that pressure is a privilege, and that's something that I've worked very hard on, and something that I took for granted. And when things are hard, you gotta appreciate it. You gotta be able to sit in and understand that it's hard because of where you're at and where you've gone in your life and where you want to continue to go. And that's what's cool about this whole thing, and that the league and NFL and football in general, it always tests you. And it's a matter of how you respond to the test, and how, when you, as an offensive lineman, part of your life's getting beat. And you got to learn how to get beat and get better from it and learn from it and make sure it doesn't happen again. And I'm looking forward to putting that to the test.
Michael, I understand you're supportive of Jimmy and everything. Is there a part of you, too, that sees a practice like today and sees Trey Lance's dual threat and goes, wow, this could be something?
Yeah, I don't really put too much stock in thinking about the future or the planning of our offense. That's not in my job. But Trey's an impressive dude, man. Not only on the field, but off the field. He's come in and done a great job of getting to know our guys in the locker room and stepping up and handling everything that's thrown at him. But yeah, he's a specimen. He rips the ball out there. Obviously, it's been funny because we've all been kind of waiting for it. We've been waiting to see when he does take off, how it goes. And I think we ran like 3 or 4 read zones, which is probably 3 or 4 more than we've ever done in my 4 years here. But it's exciting. Trey's an exciting football player. He's an exciting guy, an unbelievable guy in our locker room. And, we're lucky to have him here. And it's only going to continue to push people to be better. He's only going to do the same thing. And the sky's the limit for our football team with both him and Jimmy here.
Did you enjoy that video? Make sure to check out these other ones.